Hello young friends, welcome back to online story time. We start this session with a mantra as always. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah Sarve Santu Niramayah Sarvan Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschit Dukkha Bhag Bhavet. This means, may all be happy, may all be free from disease, may all realize what is good, may none get misery. Swami Vivekananda is one of the brightest jewels in the history of mankind. He was a great preacher of the scriptures of India, especially the Upanishads. In his letters, in his lectures, and even in private talk, Vivekananda always used to preach the value of fearlessness, which our scriptures uphold. We will speak about fearlessness today. Before starting the story, let us find out why our scriptures tell us to be fearless. Why do we have to be fearless? Because fear is a great enemy of our progress. It is a great enemy of man. Fear disturbs our peace and harmony. Fear sucks our vitality. It drains our nervous system of its reserve of energy. Moreover, fear produces weakness. Once we are weak, we cannot do anything worthwhile in our life. To make our country great, definitely we have to give up all our weakness and all our fear. Therefore, our scriptures tell us to be fearless. Swami Vivekananda himself was personified fearlessness. There are numerous incidents in his life where he has shown remarkable fearlessness. As most of you know, Swami Vivekananda went to America to preach Hinduism. He started from Mumbai on a ship via the Pacific Ocean. The ship touched several places on the way. In your geography books, you know the names, you have seen them. It went to Singapore, Hong Kong, China and Japan. Swami Vivekananda eagerly saw all these places and had hair-raising adventures. As a monk, his earnest desire was to visit a Chinese monastery. But they were forbidden ground for foreigners. This means that the foreigners were not allowed to enter the monasteries, and those people guarded the monasteries very powerfully and very sternly. This practice of them served only to intensify Vivekananda's desire to see the monastery. There was a Chinese interpreter in the ship. Vivekananda told the Chinese interpreter that he wanted to visit a monastery. The interpreter knew this land. He warned him if they approached it, they will have to face dire consequences. But Vivekananda persisted and finally induced the interpreter and some other passengers also to tread that forbidden ground. He himself didn't have any fear, so he said laughingly, "Come, let us see if they will kill us." But as the few passengers of the ship came near the Chinese monastery, the interpreter cried out to them loudly, "Away, away, gentlemen, they are coming and they are infuriated." This means the inmates of the Chinese monastery were furious. They were up in arms. They were very, very angry. Some men with weapons in their hands were approaching rapidly. All the other passengers fled, ran away, seeing their ominous approach. But Vivekananda was not afraid at all. He seized the interpreter by his arm and said with a smile, "My good man, you must not run away before you tell me the Chinese word for Indian yogi." The interpreter told him the Chinese word for Indian yogi. Having been told this, Vivekananda loudly called out to the angry inmates of the monastery that he was an Indian yogi. The word acted like magic. The angry expression of the men changed to that of deep reverence, and they came silently to Vivekananda and fell at his feet. Then they rose, stretched out their joined palms in most respectful salutations, and said something in a loud voice, one word of which was kabach. Vivekananda caught this word and shouted the question to the interpreter, who explained, "Sir, they want amulets or lucky charms to ward off evil spirits and unholy influences. They desire your protection, sir." The surprising point here is that what we call magic charm or amulet in English, the word kavach is used in both the Chinese and Sanskrit languages to mean the same thing. We also call kavach and wear them to protect from any evil eye or anything. The interpreter by this time was totally taken aback by this strange turn of events. What happened? How those furious men, as if by magic, became so respectful to Swamiji? Even Vivekananda himself was surprised. Then what he did? Although he himself didn't believe in charms, he took a sheet of paper from his pocket, divided into several pieces, and wrote on them Om in Sanskrit. All of you know, Om is the holiest word of the Vedas, of the Hindus, and it is the symbol of the highest truth. Vivekananda gave them the pieces of paper, and the men, touching them with their heads, led him into the monastery most respectfully. That's the story. Do you see how Vivekananda won the situation and got to enter the monastery where no outsiders were allowed? Only because he was totally fearless and calm in the face of danger, and thus he was able to take the right decision on how to get over the negative situation. Let me tell you another such incident. It happened in America Midwest. So one of the most difficult experiences that Vivekananda faced in America occurred in this American Midwest. Vivekananda used to preach the lofty ideals of Vedanta in America. He quoted from the Upanishad, "Brahman is fearless. One who knows this becomes the fearless Brahman." Brahman means the Supreme God. The local cowboys heard him speaking of Indian philosophy, that a realized person is calm and composed under all circumstances. So they wanted to put him in test. When Vivekananda arrived there to deliver a lecture, they escorted him to a wooden platform in the public square. They upturned a barrel and asked him to climb on top of this barrel and deliver his Vedanta lecture standing on the upturned barrel. Just think of it. Vivekananda was not disturbed at all. He started his lecture and soon became totally absorbed in it. Suddenly, there was a booming noise of firing and shots whizzed past his ears. The cowboys were shooting guns very close on both his sides. But Vivekananda went on with his lecture as if nothing had happened. When he had finished, the cowboys crowded round him joyfully and called him a right good fellow. You are a right good fellow. See, children, Vivekananda proved through his practical life what he preached. Brahman is fearless. One who knows this becomes the fearless Brahman. Yes. Swami Vivekananda stands tall as a great inspirational leader. He inspired the people, and especially the young people, to be fearless in every moment of life. And he used to highlight those portions of our scriptures which teach us to be fearless. He said, and I quote him extensively here, quote, "The only religion that ought to be taught is the religion of fearlessness. Be bold and fear not. It is only in our scriptures that this adjective is given unto the Lord, Abhi, Abhi. Those who are protected by the Lord must be above fear. Be not afraid of anything. You will do marvelous work. The moment you fear, you are nobody. It is fear that is the great cause of misery in the world. It is fear that is the greatest of all superstitions. It is fear that is the cause of our woes. And it is fearlessness that brings heaven even in a moment. If you are really my children, you will fear nothing. Stop at nothing. You will be like lions. My prayers and benedictions follow every step you take." Unquote. This is what Vivekananda said to inspire his followers. Dear young boys and girls, follow the ideal life of Swami Vivekananda. Train yourself such that you become a precious gift to the society. Om Bhurabhuvasva Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Na Prachodayat. Om.